Thank you for tuning in to the best parenting show on the internet, Post Daily Dose.
It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post.
Hey, good afternoon, good evening, Facebook family. Welcome to another episode of Post Daily Dose with me, your trusted parenting advisor, faithful guide, and servant on the healing journey. What's my name? Big Papa Brian+Post. Coming to you guys from Washington State, outside of Seattle, and Port Orchard, actually. It's been a good, intense day of emotion, and it always gives me lots to think about and lots to reflect on and lots to share with you all as I have the honor and the privilege to work with families as they struggle to create healing for themselves and for their children. And today I want to talk to you parents who have found yourselves going through really challenging times with your children. It's very common for parents of adopted children who have severe behaviors and trauma to oftentimes feel isolated and abandoned and alone when it comes to their family members and their close friends. It seems like when the behavior challenges and the stress set in, and the children are more susceptible to stress and therefore maybe not as docile and as easily directed as other children, that family members tend to not stick around and offer the same level of support that maybe they previously did when things weren't so difficult. And then there's the whole next level of when your family goes through really traumatic things. Maybe that's a disruption, maybe that's particular school challenges, maybe that's issues within the family themselves. And then you look up one day, and when you are the most vulnerable and when you are at your lowest point, it's like everyone that you used to rely on and thought you could depend on for security and for certainty and just for the occasional phone call to say I'm having a really tough day, they all disappear. And I have known families over the years, countless families who've gone through this scenario, and I can't tell you exactly why it happens. I feel like it probably happens because the people around you really don't know what to do, and the helplessness that they feel gets so big, it gets so great, it becomes overwhelming for them. And so it's easier for them to compartmentalize. And I think people feel that instead of calling you up and sharing about their day and asking you how your day is and just listening, they have a tendency to just not want to bother you. And then in the process of not bothering you, they fall out of being able to support you. And so what do you do when that happens? Parenting is difficult. Parenting traumatized children is very difficult. And parenting traumatized children when we've had our own backgrounds of trauma is extremely difficult. Finding support is so important, but one of the first steps in finding support is in learning how to support yourself. And a lot of times that begins with honoring yourself. We get so caught up in trying to meet the needs of our children. We get so caught up in trying to make everything okay for our kids that we end up abandoning ourselves as much as our loved ones end up abandoning us. So we feel upset and sad because our loved ones and our support system abandons us, but then we end up abandoning our own selves. And when we abandon our own selves, then we are really all alone. We really don't have anyone that we can count on and depend on. And how do you keep from abandoning yourself? The biggest step you can take in not abandoning yourself is by learning to honor your own pain. Learning to honor your own challenge and your own struggle. And I know that many of you, when sad, especially when you're feeling lonely, when you're feeling overwhelmed, you may cry in silence. You may cry in the dark when no one's around. You don't want your children to hear you be sad or see you sad. And so you learn to suffer in silence. But what happens, the difference between suffering in silence versus learning to honor your pain and honor yourself, is that your suffering is a reaction to everything that has happened to you. So it's like the world has collapsed in on you, and in your loneliness and your isolation, you can't do anything at that moment except just ball up and cry. Just ball up and release as much as you possibly can. And then typically you find yourself, you just cry until you cry all your tears out, and you get up and you go try to get busy doing something. That's not honoring you. That's not honoring your pain. To honor your pain is to say in that moment, I am feeling sad. And here's all the reasons I am feeling sad. I am feeling angry, and here's all the reasons I am feeling angry. And then to reach into yourself and to grab onto that sadness, to grab onto that anger, to grab onto that hurt, and then express it. And express it for all you can. Sometimes you know that to be that time when you just bury your head in your pillow and you just scream and you bite that pillow and you kick and you hit your hands on your bed and you just scream. That's honoring what you're feeling. That's not being reactive to what you feel. When you can learn to honor what you feel, it doesn't take away the fact that your loved ones have abandoned you because they haven't known how to support you. It doesn't take that away. It doesn't take away that sadness. It doesn't take away that insecurity that you feel. But when you learn to honor yourself, you learn to be able to give yourself permission to have the feelings that you're having. And then after you have those feelings, you come back to a center that says, I'm okay. I hurt. I am angry. I am sad. All my friends, all my family, all my important people in my life, my support system, they've all abandoned me, but it doesn't make me bad. See, when you can honor yourself, when you truly honor your pain and what you're feeling, when there's no one else there, you can honor that emotion. And when you've honored that emotion, you can come back to a center that says, I'm okay. I'm okay, and I can make it through another day. I can make it through another hour. I can make it through another day. I can make it through another week. Sometimes I can just make it through the next moment. I'm okay. The pain you feel, the trauma you've been through, the trauma your children have been through, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Bad things happen to good people all the time. And my belief is that the reason that things happen is because there's something greater that is unfolding for us. But in that moment, it just feels so bad. And then when you feel so alone because everyone around you has gone away and you don't know where else to turn, you turn on yourself. You turn on yourself and you end up doing things to yourself and feeling about yourself in a way that's negative, and it's just reinforcing of the pain you're already feeling, the stress you're already feeling. What I want to do is I want to encourage you that instead of turning on yourself in that moment of sadness, that moment of isolation, that moment of pain and struggle, I want to encourage you to find that quiet place and breathe into your body and embrace that pain, embrace that anger, embrace that sadness, and just honor it. Have it for all that it is, for all that it means to you, for all that you need, for as long as you need. And then when you're done with that, put it aside, pick yourself up, look in the mirror, tell yourself, I love you. Look deep into your eyes in that mirror and say, I love you. And tell yourself all the good things that there are about you, all the important things there are about you. Because you can be going through a really dark place and you can forget about how precious you are. You can forget about how you are a child of God, how you were brought here for a purpose, for a reason, how you have children that you're raising that no one else has been able to raise. No one else has extended their heart and their homes in order to bring these children in and to provide for them. You forget all of that about that stuff. You have to remind yourself when everyone else has gone away, the only person that can do it is you. You can't give up. So honor your sadness, honor your anger, honor your grief. Have it for all it is. Be proactive in doing it. Don't be reactive. Don't wait till it builds up so high that you can't do anything else. You can't do anything else with it. Go get it before then. Reach out to it before then and honor it before then and just let it go. Let it go and do it as often as you can. And then find something, one little thing that allows you to take care of yourself, that allows you to nurture yourself. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's listening to a song. Maybe it's dancing with your children. Maybe it's eating a big old scoop of ice cream. Find one little thing that feels good to you and just do that one little thing. And just tell yourself, self, I'm taking care of me right now. Even when there's no one else around to take care of me, I'm going to take care of me. I'm not going to abandon me too. And as you'll continue to do that, as you'll continue to work on honoring yourself, as you'll continue to bring yourself back to yourself, to not abandon yourself, to stay present, stay connected to yourself, what will happen is the vibrations in your life will begin to change. There will be people that will begin showing up in your life. They may be different people. You may not be able to reclaim those people that haven't been able to figure out their own struggles and their own pain that your pain brings up for them. That's the reason they go away. The reason they go away and the reason they abandon you is because your pain brings up pain within them and they don't know what to do with it. You might not be able to reclaim those people. But as you come back to yourself and you're present to yourself and you don't abandon yourself, there will be people that start to show up in your life that can support you, that will want to support you, that will want to hold you and be present, that will want to be able to nurture you. And then don't forget your spouses, for those of you who are in relationships. A lot of times when we get abandoned by others, the first things we do after we abandon ourselves is we abandon the people that we love. Our significant others, our spouses. We go away from them, we shut down, we stop communicating. We don't share our heart. We don't share our fears. We don't share our pain. We start defending ourselves. We start getting protective, trying to stay safe. And as we're trying to stay safe, we're just constricted around ourselves. You can't feel connected when you're constricted. The only way you can feel connected is when you'll take the risk and open up. And just because one person might not be able to receive your pain, because one person might not be able to receive your hurt, doesn't mean they all won't be able to. So don't abandon yourself. Take care of yourself. Stay present to yourself and just know what you're going through in this given moment is just a moment in time. It's not forever. It's not forever. Big Papa loves you. God bless you. Hope you have a fantastic evening. And we'll talk to you guys soon.